Hello, guys. Welcome, welcome. Happy Tuesday to everyone. You're getting to see my face just a few days apart from each other since we had the deep dive on Saturday. And I am sure that many of you were participating in that. And if you haven't seen the deep dive yet, what we covered was the trends for cover designs in 2025. So after this YouTube live, if you want to go check out the deep dive that we just did 2 or 3 days ago, then you would just go to our YouTube page and click the category for live, and that's where it is housed because it was a live stream that we did. So feel free. I see we've got a few people watching, but I don't see any comments yet. So feel free to post in the comments. Say hello if this is your first live stream. Then there are prizes that we give away. So participation is key for those prizes. And I would love to see some extra participation today because we do have a guest host here, and it's not me. We actually have someone else who is going to be guest hosting, who I will be introducing in just a moment. We're going to let a few people hop on. Yeah, I'd love to hear where you guys are watching from. So we've got Gary Anderson. Hello, Gary. You're watching from Utah. Darla, lovely to see you. Kevin, nice to see you again. I know you were on the deep dive. Dabby Dosen, hello. Nice to see you. Bill Holston, hello, hello from Delaware. Jack, nice to see you. Reba and Jack, you guys, I both remember seeing you on the deep dive as well. So that is awesome. Bill Miller watching from Connecticut. And yes, Jack, you are in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So nice to see you guys. I know some of you are in some areas where it is, yeah, Kevin, you said it's 10 degrees, but it feels like -2. That's crazy. Some of you guys are in some really, really chilly weather. I won't brag too much about how not chilly it is here in Florida. But yeah, it's great to see you guys on here. We are going to be talking about Dibbly Create today. So if you guys aren't aware of Dibbly Create, or if you are aware of it, but you don't know all of the cool features that Dibbly has to offer authors, this is going to be the live stream for you. So we're going to hang on for just another minute before we dive in. If you haven't yet commented and you're like, who is this person? This is not normally the person I'm used to seeing on our YouTube channel. That would be an accurate observation. I am Angela, the operations manager. So I do help support anyone who is on our YouTube lives, on our deep dives. I'm not always necessarily hosting them like I am today. But aside from helping with these live streams, I do a lot of the business side of things behind the scenes that help keep the company running and functioning. So, oh, we have another person who said hello, KJ from SoCal. Nice to see you, KJ. So, okay, let's go ahead and dive in so that we can be right on with time. So, as Julie has mentioned in previous videos that you might have seen, AI is an exceptional tool for ideation, especially if you are in the beginning stages of writing a book. So it's not uncommon, even for seasoned authors, to be daunted when they're looking at the blank page, or to be daunted when they are trying to come up with an outline or chapter titles, or they're feeling like some of their content might be a little light. That's not uncommon, so you shouldn't feel alone. And the great thing about living in 2025 is now there are a lot of tools to help you. And there are many tools out there, but one that we love here at Book Launchers is Dibbly Create. And part of that is because they focus, or they have a focus, I should say, on book creation. So it's perfect. So today we have a guest host, as I alluded to a moment ago. This guest host is Michaela, and Michaela is from the Dibbly Create team, and we'll be talking about using their platform to create an outline for your book, or about using Kip, which is their refined AI assistant. So very in-depth, a very awesome AI tool. within their Dibbly Create system. And if we have time, we'll also go over some of the other tools that they have for content creation, like creating blog posts or other marketing materials that are really essential for authors to not only get their book going, but to help move it along a little bit more quickly than you would have had without those tools there. So as we go along, as I mentioned, I will be here helping support Michaela, and I will also be collecting your questions. So as we go throughout, we are going to save questions for the end. And if you have a question at any point, please post it in the chat. My one request with questions, though, just to help me find them a little bit more easily, is to put a capital Q before your question. And that'll just help me spot it a little bit more easily so that I can queue them all up and we can answer as many as possible in the time frame at the end. Additionally, we, of course, have prizes to give away as well. And what we did on the deep dive on Saturday was we had a book edition for prizes, and we are going to continue that book edition through to today. So we're going to start off right before I bring Michaela onto the stage. We're going to start off with a prize. And as I mentioned a moment ago, guys, participation is key. So if you have not yet said hello, I'm about to give you some extra time to type in hello or just any sort of message into the chat so that we can put your name into the draw to be a potential prize winner. And that goes throughout this as well. There are going to be other times where I would love to see some participation in there, because it will give you another opportunity to win a prize. So very briefly, what are the books that we have? We have 5 different ones that are an option to choose from today. We have Julie's books, Self-Publish and Succeed. Another of her books, Self-Promote and Succeed. We also have Nick Hutchison's Rise of the Reader. And then we have 2 of Dale Roberts' books. We have, and these are actually 2 of his series that he has, and the series is 5 books. So we have the first 2 books of that series. One is Self-Publishing for New Authors, and the other one is Advanced Self-Publishing for Authors. So those are the 5 books that we have. Okay, let me pull up our giveaway tool. I see a couple other people have said their hellos, which is key. So I am going to share a screen really quickly. We're going to choose a prize winner, and then I am going to bring Michaela up here. There we go. And she's going to dive into Dibbly. So let us figure out this first winner. And it'd be fun if this thing had music. Bill Miller. I don't think you were a winner on Saturday either. So today is your lucky day. And I think you were on the deep dive on Saturday. So Bill, you, of course, are one of the OGs. You know the drill. Please email me at team@booklaunchers.com. Let me know which of those books you would like. And without further ado, let me stop sharing screen, not leave the studio. There we go. And let me bring Michaela from the Dibbly Create team up here to get us started. So this, again, as I said, this is Michaela. She is from the Dibbly team. Uh-oh, and it looks like my internet is going a little funky. Hopefully you can still hear me. But
we can still hear you. It's fine.
Perfect. Okay, well, that's good to know. Well, I'm going to hand things over to you and check my Wi-Fi signal, and you are good to go. Again, guys, feel free to post questions in the chat.
Okay, awesome. So Angela has basically introduced me already. My name is Michaela. I'm the sales team and engagement coordinator at Dibbly, the Urban Writers. So if at any point, if you've reached out to either of those sides of the company, chances are you have spoken to me at some point or went on a video with me. So if you have, hi again. But yeah, I'm in South Africa. I am not bragging, but our weather is extremely. We're having a heat wave. It is absolutely terrible. I know that I'm sitting in a jersey. It's currently raining. It's the first time in probably 2 months that we've had decent weather. So yeah, I'm very envious of everybody that actually has cold weather. But yeah, let's dive right in. So Dibbly Create is a content creation tool that we created specifically for content creators, for book writers, for authors, for bloggers, anybody that has basically a need to write content and doesn't really have a platform that offers it all. So Dibbly Create uses AI. It's absolutely amazing. I believe one of the reasons why I was chosen to do this was because I am actually a ghostwriter myself. I've been a ghostwriter for 7 years. I've done over 270 books. So I am extremely finicky and picky when it comes to AI content. There are a lot of, I'm not going to mention them, but there are a lot of AI softwares that I absolutely detest using. So Dibbly Create, Kip specifically, our little AI helper, is absolutely amazing. And literally every single thing about Dibbly Create has been created with love and with thought behind it. It wasn't just something that was added blindly. Everything has a purpose that has been added to make your life easier. Now, we can dive right in. Again, if you have any questions as we go along, pop them in the chat. I'm happy to go over them at the very end, but hopefully this little demonstration that I am going to give you is going to alleviate any grievances or basically just satisfy the curiosity a little bit as well. So let me quickly present my screen. Let me just grab that quickly. There we go. Alrighty. So, hopefully everybody can see Dibbly Create. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So this is basically the dashboard where you are going to end up once you just sign up for Dibbly Create. You'll be able to see your tokens that you have available with every subscription. So if you just do the basic plan, you will get 1 million tokens every month that you can use to generate content. Sorry. And then if you do run out of tokens, you're always more than welcome to just go ahead and purchase more tokens. And it is extremely affordable compared to other AI softwares as well. All you have to do is just click on upgrade at the bottom here, and you can basically purchase more tokens here. You can increase your limit monthly as well. So instead of 1 million tokens a month, you'll get 5 million tokens a month. So it definitely does depend on how much content you do plan on creating. Now let's get into the fun bits. So I just basically created a document and a project just so that we can speed it up a little bit, so we don't have to wait for the for Kip to generate all of this content. So the first thing that I went ahead and did, and what I recommend people doing, is check out our research tool. Now, let me actually close that. Once you are on this page, so when you just open the document, you just click on Kip up here, and then you can select research. So these are all of the features that we currently have available. More are coming, but these are the current available ones. So first off is research. Now, as any self-publisher, any successful self-publisher will tell you, one of the most important parts about publishing is actually doing your research and doing market research and finding a very profitable niche. Doing this can be very daunting and very hard very, very quickly. So this is a very good way of doing some market research if you're not entirely sure how to do it on your own. So first off is the category search option. So basically what I did for this, this live, I just went ahead and I just selected a random category. So I went ahead and I selected history. And then you can choose a second category. So let's do ancient civilizations. And then category 3 will be Egypt. Now, there is an option to do an advanced search as well, where you can do specific questions, prompt the AI a little bit better as well. But for this, we can just hit search. Now, I'm not going to generate that just now. We can actually generate a chapter of the book later on. But this is basically what it gave me. So once it's generated, you can save it to your notes, and you can have all of your research right there, right here on the left-hand side. So you'll see that I have research, I have titles, I have the outline here. And then your sections, that is where you're actually going to write your book. So this is, or when Kip generates the content for you, this is where you can save it to, because the sections, that is what's going to be exported when you export the documents into a Word file or a PDF or whatever format you want to export it into. But basically over here, you can see some data exploration. So you can see the, let's say, like, let's choose a random one, the bestsellers rank. So you can see the average is 38,970. So the highest rank is basically, so the minimum, and the lowest number is 3,871. But the maximum, so the lowest ranking book in the genre is number 79,525. So this also gives you an idea of how successful this specific niche can be for you. I didn't choose a very successful niche, I must say. It's just something that interests me. Then you can also see the price. So you can see the average price that these books usually go for. Minimum is for free. So these are usually books on Kindle Unlimited. And then the maximum is $29.09. So here you can also gauge a little bit better what you can ask for your book once you have published it. Now, here are questions that this genre poses, the problems, the challenges. There's some market analysis here as well. Key players, so you can actually see the best publishers in the specific genre, the target audience, and then there's a little conclusion. Finally, there is market goals, aspirations, and then the category topics. Now, this is where things get interesting and basically how I do my market research. As I go to this specifically and I say, okay, ancient Egypt. So let me copy that, and I can go back into Kip. Let's exit this because we don't need that right now. Could go back into Kip, click on the research tool again. And for this one, let's go to search term batch analysis. So we can select the domain where we want this. So you can choose if you want it in the UK, in Germany, in France, in Spain, wherever you want it. But usually the best domain to choose is usually just .com. That is the widest. It has the widest variety. Then our search term is going to be ancient Egypt. And then we want to say number of books. So let's say we want a maximum of 5 books. And then we just go ahead and we search. Now this can take up to 10 minutes. It usually doesn't take 10 minutes, but it can take up to 10 minutes. So again, what I've done is I've gone ahead and I've just saved it to my notes, and now we can go through it together. So I just did 2 books on this specific topic when I did the batch analysis, but you can do as many as you'd like. And I literally just picked the first one and ran with it. But basically, what the kind of information that you're going to see is you're going to see the cover here. It hasn't loaded in just yet, but you can see the product overview, summary of reviews. So you can see the strengths, the weaknesses, the proficiency and readability, writing style aspects. You have so much information that you can get from this specifically. You have your keywords that you can use to market the book, your long-tailed keywords, which is basically the phrases that you can use to market it. It is extremely, extremely useful. Now we also have another great option. So here you can see this is the research that it's done. Now I do apologize if my screen does look a little bit squished. Actually, I can fix that a little bit. There we go. Okay. So what I've done here is I've gone ahead and I've selected this specific book. And I went to Amazon and I searched it in Amazon. And again, you can stop here if you want to, but if you do want to do some more in-depth research, you can definitely do this. So this is the first one that popped up. This is one of the best sellers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just copy this ISBN. I'm going to go back to KIP, just discard this. Clear results. It's just, there we go. Yes, exit. There we go. I clicked the wrong thing. It wasn't anybody else's fault. And then we can do in-depth book analysis. So you can say the number of reviews that you'd like, the Amazon domain again, and then you can put in your ISBN. So again, I'm going to add that. And this is going to give you an in-depth book analysis of the best-selling book in this specific genre. So we can search this. But again, I already did that part. So here we go. Okay. So it's added to my notes again. So you will always have this to refer back to. You can see exactly how many tokens you've used to do this research as well. And then you can see the product overview, summary of reviews, the strengths, the weaknesses again, proficiency and readability, writing style aspects, all of those really, really cool details that you would not have gotten if you didn't use AI or if you didn't spend hundreds of hours actually researching these things. So what I like to do in these cases is now I have enough details to generate an outline. So what I did for this specific book itself is before I generated the outline, I just went ahead and I generated, oh my gosh, did I do it again? Yes, exit. Give me one moment. It is, it's a difficult time for technology for me at the moment. But anyway, I went ahead and I generated a title using the book description. So I just said this book is about ancient civilizations in Egypt. I added my target audience. I said if it's fiction or nonfiction, my categories, all of those sorts of things. Again, you can select the multiple categories if you want to have it a little bit more precise. Now, my titles that were generated is over here. So you can see titles that will be good in the specific genre, common lessons, common tropes. You can see potential titles, potential subtitles. So there really is a lot of content for you to play with when you do this research. Now, what I went ahead and did is I just copied a random title and I went into the outline generator over here. I said nonfiction. This is for adults. I want, let's say 10 chapters. We want 30,000 words. Again, we could just add the book title, book genre, main topic. So again, ancient civilizations in Egypt. And then you can add a little bit of an explanation of your book. So you can say, okay, this book is about ancient civilizations in Egypt. What I like to do is I like to go into my research and I like to say, for example, just go to the bottom, add these competitive edges. So these are things that really will give your book that edge above or edge against other books in this genre. So add these, avoid the bad reviews, the weaknesses. So over here, I'd copy and paste this, and I'd add this and say, don't add any of this into the outline. You can literally add as much detail as you want into the outline generator. It does take 2, 3, 4 minutes maybe to generate, depending on how long you want your book to be. But again, I did go ahead and generate that outline. Again, all you have to do is go to KIP, select your details over here, add your details, and then once it's generated, here you can say save to project, and then just save to note. Just remember to name the notes when you are saving them so you don't get confused. Everything is in a mess, just so you stay a little bit more organized. Now we have the outline. Okay, so the outline is it's essential to writing a good book. Whether it's AI, whether it's human written, whether it's you writing it, whether it's a ghostwriter writing it, an outline is essential. A good outline is essential. Outline with a lot of details, as much details as you can pack into this outline. You'll see that this outline, for example, is 10,800 words. It literally gives you the main plot, premise, subplots, target audiences, styles, the characters or the people that are mentioned, because this is nonfiction, any locations that are mentioned. So it's going to give you a lot of information before you even dive into the actual outline itself, which if we scroll all the way down, here you can see the chapter descriptions. So chapter 1, the legacy of ancient Egypt, a chapter summary, scene 1, and then the scene breakdown, scene 2, and that breakdown. So this chapter specifically is going to be chopped up into 3 parts, and they all have events within those 3 parts. And that is it for all of the content and all of the chapters that were generated. Now, in order to generate this content, now this is where we can do it together. And this is super easy. I know that some people think it is extremely daunting to generate content using KIP, or not KIP specifically, just AI specifically. And then what you can do is you can just go ahead and just copy this entire section. Just go up to here, copy this. There we go. Go back into KIP. Go into Content Writer. We want a chapter. We want nonfiction. The chapter type, you can choose between introduction, normal, and conclusion. So your normal chapters are chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and then of course your introduction and conclusion. You can choose a word count range. So how long do you actually want this chapter to be? For the sake of this, let's do 3,000 to 3,600 words. We can paste the chapter outline. So literally what we just copied, we can paste that in there. We definitely want research included as well. You can add links. So if you already have a book on this specific topic, you can use your own links to reference to as well in this chapter. I don't, so I'm not going to click that, but you definitely can. Then your tone, you can choose whatever tone you want from the list here. Let's be quirky. Let's go with sarcastic. We can do writing style. Let's do this as let's do a narrative one. And then the target audience, let's say adults. And now we can generate. Now, I've already generated the first chapter of a book. This is the second chapter that we're generating now. So while that is generating, let's take a look at chapter 1. So here again, you can see how many tokens you used. And you can see basically all of the content added. So this we'll actually get to. That is the fact checker that we also have built in. So I'll show you how to use that. But you can go through this. The writing is exceptional. It is very, very, very good. And you can literally just go through and check up on things. And if you want to rewrite something, let's say I don't like this sentence. Let's go to KIP. We say rewrite. And then we can just say rewrite this in a funny way. And now KIP is going to write that sentence in the way that you described. So we can see here that they added it, or he rewrote it basically. You can see exactly what it removed. and then we can replace the text. And there you go. Here is your new text. So Kip can literally rewrite your text as well. If we go into Kip again, we can check grammar, we can continue writing. So if you are stuck on a specific part, you don't know how to get past this, this is extraordinary for fiction writers. I'm a fiction writer and I get stuck a lot. So a fantastic feature is continue writing, because what Kip is going to do is it's going to use the context of the content that you highlighted and continue writing using that context. So it can extend the scene a little bit, it can give a little bit more dialogue between characters, and even in something like nonfiction, it can give more information and give you guidelines on where to go from here, and basically just get you out of that corner you've written yourself into. Again, another fantastic thing is to change the point of view. So again, if it's fiction and you're writing in first person and you decide, maybe I want to do third person instead, you can change the points of view here. You can change the writing style. You can simplify it. So if a sentence is overly complicated, simplify it. Enrich content means to add content to the specific sentence. So instead of it just being one sentence, it might turn it into 4 sentences. And especially for fiction, that is going to give a little bit more drama, a little bit more descriptions, character descriptions, places, world building, magic, whatever you can think of. This is how Kip is going to enrich it. And then finally, we have the fact checker. So I'm not going to generate that right now because I've already done that. So if we go up here, I fact checked this paragraph specifically, and you can see exactly what Kip says about it. So it can say we found information to support this claim, the explanation here, the sources where this was checked, and then the next sentence, we found information that supported this claim. So it's going to give you a complete rundown of specific facts to say, yes, this is backed up. Yes, we have found information to support this specific claim, or no, we have not. But this is what you can check out instead. Okay, so this is a really, really cool feature specifically for nonfiction. Fiction, fiction is fiction. You could just make it up as you go. I'm a fantasy writer, so I like fantasy because I could just make things up as I go. I can make up worlds, make up words, make up rules. It doesn't matter. But with fiction, you have to be accurate in order to gain that reputation with your readers. If you're not accurate, you're going to have a bad reputation, and you want to have a good reputation. Otherwise, people aren't going to recommend your books. People aren't going to want to buy your books. Reviews are going to be bad. So definitely ensure that your facts are correct. Now that we've gone over that, chapter 2 has now been created. So what we can do is we can save that to the project. We want to add it to the section, and we can say chapter 2, save to section. And now it is chapter 2 under sections. So all of your sections are broken up. So your chapters are broken up so that if you do, want to change one specific chapter, you don't have to go and look for it through this entire document. You could just click on it and go there immediately. And then when you do export your documents, it will all be in one long document. So it's not going to be broken up into sections. It's going to be chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, one after the other. So again, it's not going to be chopped up. It is going to be condensed into one file so that you do have everything together and basically have it formatted, ready for publishing, because Kip actually does that formatting for you as well when you export your content. Now, another great feature that we have, let's go back into Kip over here. Another fantastic feature that we have is the image generator. Now, if you click on that, you can literally select your style of what you want these images to be. So let's say fantasy. And the prompt, let's say a black cat looking at a pyramid. Okay, so let's just do that for now. We can enhance it in a second, so I can show you the difference. You can choose the aspect ratio. So on the little placeholder images on the side, you'll see what size and what ratio your images are going to be. Let's just do 1. And then we can also see the image count. So this is how many images Kip is going to generate for you at once. Now, let's go ahead and generate that content. And then you are going to get 4 options or 4 images that you can then use in your content. So it is usually very accurate to the content that you are creating. But I love cats, so I just generate everything with cats and pyramids, ancient Egypt, But here you can see all of the different versions. You can open them up and get a closer look. You can download it from there as well. But now, another feature that you can do is click Enhance by Kip. And what Kip is going to do is Kip is going to enhance this text to give it a little bit more substance and to just make the image more interesting. So now when we generate the image, it's going to have a lot more details than what we originally had. It's going to be a lot more distinct, or well, not distinct, more accurate, because we just gave it a very general prompt, and now Kip has created and enhanced that text. So now we can generate it. And then again, you should have 4 images of a cat looking at a pyramid, but with a lot more text. So now you can see this is a little bit more like what I wanted. I didn't want to add something like this into the book itself. I wanted something like this. Of course, this is fantasy, but it is so you can still see the pyramid in the background. You can see the sand, the blue skies, and of course, the cat. We can also change the style. So let's go ahead and change the style to something maybe a little bit more detailed. So I'm going to do photorealistic. Let's try that and see what we're getting. Alrighty. So again, 4 images, and these are more photorealistic. So you can see these cats, they actually do look like cats. The image generator is absolutely brilliant. If you're doing recipe books, Kip can generate the images for your recipe books. You don't need to take that picture. You don't need to have it illustrated. You can generate it using Kip, which is a fantastic feature that we're offering, because other image generators just don't have this. And if they do have that, they are extremely expensive to use. And Kip is affordable. Kip is easy to use, especially once you have the hang of it. It is just a fantastic tool. So now let's say I want to use this picture. Here we can add save to project, we can download it, or we can reuse the prompt. But let's save that to the project, save to note, and then here you will have your image. Now from here you can copy and paste it wherever you want to add it in the book. You can even just download the image once you've generated it and then add it to wherever you want in the book. But here you can basically just have a full collection of images that while you are writing, you can go in and you can add these interesting little images. Alrighty, well, that is most of it for Dibbly Create. What I can actually show you guys is how to export. So using this export tool, we literally just clicked export, and now you can choose a template. You can even create a new template over here. You can select what you want added, your headers, your footers, all of those different things. But let's go here. Let's just use the basic plus one. Down here, you can select PDF or EPUB. And then it's going to give you a bit of a preview over here. So you can even choose your trim size. So here you have your table of content. You have your chapters. Of course, I still have the tokens usage and all of that in there. But once you've cleaned it up, this is basically what it's going to look like. And it will be ready for printing. It's going to be formatted for whatever trim size you do choose up here, so that you can go ahead and you can just have it printed by Amazon, because all of the margins, everything is 100% correct. Okay, I do apologize about the jumping the entire time. That is my bad. But yeah, so that is basically it. You can also use Kip as an in-text kind of thing. So you can ask Kip questions and you can say, how tall is a cat? And then Kip can assist you and he can answer some questions that you might want here. This is a very, very useful tool that if you are doing research and you don't want to tab out and go onto a Google search, or you want to just check something, or how to spell something, or what is another word for this, for example. Kip is there to literally do all of those things. If you want to come up with names for places, if you want to come up with names for people, or just stories, or just brainstorm, Kip can help you. And you can use inline Kip to do that, or in chat Kip, or you can use Kip over here as well to do any of those features. Alrighty, that is basically it from me for Dibbly Create. Now, what I would suggest is actually going ahead and checking out Kip Scout as well. Now, Kip Scout, if you don't know, let me actually stop presenting. There we go. Okay. Now, Kip Scout is an amazing tool that's basically almost taking the place of Katie Spy. I don't want to say that, but it sounds like I have a big ego. But Katie Spy is a paid service that you need to use when you are doing market research, finding profitable niches, that sort of thing. But Kip Scout is a free version of that. You can download it. It's a Chrome extension. You can download it there. There are tutorials that you can check out as well. Again, it is completely free. You don't need to have Dibbly Create. You don't have to use the Urban Writers services at all. It's just an amazing feature. So definitely doesn't cost you anything. So go ahead, check it out, leave us a review, see if there's anything that you want us to improve on that as well. We are always happy to just hear everybody's feedback.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the in-depth overview of the platform, Michaela. That was awesome. We did have a couple questions come in, and I had some jotted down myself as well that I would like for us to address. First, before we do that, I would like to get some participation in here. I want to see who actually no, we'll do hashtag if you would like to win one of our books. We're going to do a hashtag prize. So get your fingers ready, because the hashtag to be entered to win this is KIP, KIP. So I will put that in there, and then I will give you a few minutes while we go through these questions. So I'll give you an example. Capitalization does not matter. But do hashtag KIP if you would like to be entered to win one of the books, because KIP is just such an awesome feature and really well developed tool with Dibbly. So while people are putting that in the chat, this first question that we had was from Bill Miller. And so he had asked, when you were talking about the research, He was curious if it was just for book selling and essentially market research, or if that research tool is also for content, like for the subject.
Yeah, so the research tool that I showed is more just for the marketing part of things, but you can use Kip to do research for you. So the little chat Kip that I showed you at the very end, you can use that to do your research. You can also add it in the document itself by typing /Kip, and then you have more options. You can ask Kip to do research for you. So you can definitely do research on the subject as well. I was just showing you the research tool specifically to do the market research.
Awesome. Thank you. And if you guys are ready to check out Dibbly as well, I did post this in the chat earlier, but you can access it by going to booklaunchers.com/Dibbly. And that is DIBBLY. Now let's get to the second question. And this is one that you've probably encountered, at Dibbly or had other people ask you as well. And we certainly get this question a lot with AI being so prevalent. Mm-hmm. So Reba asked, I believe we learned that Amazon and Ingram don't accept AI generated books. So what parts when using this platform, and this was actually a question I had jotted down for you to address as well, which parts of this creative effort that was used with Dibbly and or with Kip would be rejected, and which parts would be okay and would pass?
Yeah. So when you are creating content and when you are generating content, it is very, very crucial for you to humanize that content. Whether you are going in and you're just rewording things here and there, maybe just regenerating something, just to give it that human touch and just to edit a little bit, any AI generated content is going to be, it's going to need a human touch. It doesn't matter where you're getting it generated. Kip is amazing. If I had the option, I would just go ahead and I would just publish it just like that, because I find that sometimes I don't know what to change. But in general, it does need to be humanized in order to be accepted by publishing platforms. So at least if you generate the book and you go in and you humanize it, maybe regenerate some parts, rewrite a little bit here, add a sentence there, or a little bit, just give it some personality, it should definitely pass. So we do have a package at the Urban Writers called the AI Nonfiction Package. And this is literally us generating content and then humanizing it from there, because we know that that is going to pass. And ever since that has launched, we haven't had a single issue with anything being rejected by Amazon. So really, if you do need, if you don't know exactly what to do, you can always get in touch with us. We're always happy to help. If you want us to just give you some assistance or some pointers, just let us know. We can either humanize it for you or give you some tips on how you can do it yourself.
Awesome. Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, well, before we get to some of the last questions, let's do another prize. So let me pull up our giveaway tool, and I need to type in #Kip, and we are going to see who this chooses to be a winner. So let's see. It is going to be Reba. Yay. That's awesome. And I mean, great that we just answered your question. So Reba, please email me at team@booklaunchers.com to let me know which of the prizes you would like. I do, of course, have your mailing address since you're one of our awesome clients, but let me know which of the books you would like. Okay, let me stop sharing that. Okay, so a couple other questions that I wanted us to bring up. So some of our authors here, I believe, are not all at the very beginning of this process. So if they already have works created, maybe they have a couple chapters or maybe they have that outline, can they upload it into Dibbly and then have Dibbly start to pick up where they had left off?
Yeah, so basically, currently we don't have an importing tool. We are working on that. That is coming. But what you can do is you can literally copy and paste it and continue from there. So you can highlight it. So you can use the outline that you've generated to generate the content. You don't have to use an AI generated outline to generate content for the book itself. It can be your own content, your own outline as well. But other than that, just your content in general, if you want Kip to extend or enrich your content a little bit, literally copy and paste it, highlight it, enrich, you're good to go.
Awesome. Thank you. Is there a part of Dibbly that you feel is underutilized that you want everyone to be aware of, but it's not currently like everyone knows about Kip, or I would imagine they do because it's so awesome. But is there something that you feel is underutilized that you want to share with people?
I do. So there are two parts that I feel people don't really know about or don't know exactly how to use. First off is a fact checker, which is very, very important. I go on call with people all the time and they don't know that there even is a fact checker. So definitely the fact checker is one of it. It isn't used a lot. It should be used more because we're going to get a lot more good books out there if facts are actually checked. The other one is the image generator. I think people are very scared of image generators in general because I mean, Angela, you've seen the weird AI images that have been created. It's very clear that some things have been AI generated, so people tend to step back and not use it. But our AI generator, our image generator is brilliant. It is absolutely amazing. We worked months and months on this specific feature to make it as good as it is. And I don't think people should be scared to use it. It's definitely there for you to use, and it's underutilized. Honestly, it is absolutely amazing. The image gen can actually help with cover designs as well. So it is something. So if you want to generate a cover and just want somebody to, and then have a cover designer add the text, back cover text, that sort of thing, you can literally just go ahead and generate your cover image as well. So again, very underutilized.
How perfect that you had touched on both of those things, the image generator and the fact checking on there. That was perfect. We have another question that came in from Bill. He's curious about the currency of the tokens. So what can be accomplished with 20,000 per month from the free version versus what you can do with the 1 million for the paid version? And that's a great question.
Yeah, definitely. So in order to create a book or to generate a book from start to finish, you're going to look at about 1.5 million tokens to get the book completely generated from point A to point Z. The free version is just there for you to play around a little bit, see what kind of content you can create. Definitely more shorter form content. So you can still, of course, generate. You still have access to all of the features. You just can't generate as much because some of the chapters are 5,000 words, some are 3,000 words. It does depend on how many words you generate as well. But yeah, you need about 1.5 million tokens in order to generate a full book.
Great, thank you. And I'm going to share the affiliate link that we have with Dibbly in the chat as well. So check that out there. And that's all the questions that I see, Michaela. Are there any last thoughts or any other things you wanted to share about Dibbly before we call it a night?
No, just if you have any questions or concerns, just don't be shy. Even if you think it's a stupid question, we'd rather you reach out to us and we can assist you quickly, or we can answer your questions for you. Rather than you sitting there pulling your hair out of your head, you don't know what to do and you're getting frustrated. We want your experience to be as smooth and as enjoyable as possible. So don't be shy. Reach out to us at any point. If you have any questions for me, you can reach me at Dibbly as well. You can always just ask for me when you do reach out to us. So yeah, literally just don't be shy. Give us a call, shoot us an email, hop on a chat, whatever you want to do.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time. And I hope you guys got to see just how incredible their system is. And again, all the doors that they're all their features open when you're getting to these points where you're feeling stuck, where you're feeling daunted, where you're feeling overwhelmed, don't know what else to do. So what an awesome system you guys have created, Michaela. So excited for the new features that I'm sure you guys will be developing in the coming months and years. So thank you so much for your time today, for showing us everything. Thank you everyone for being here. And we are going to go ahead and call it. Bye everyone. See you in a couple of weeks.